Hi and welcome to KSIPrint. This is the place to be for the best tips and tricks in embroidery, vinyl, heat transfer, and screen printing. Let's get started.
Today we're going to learn how to do flat hoops on embroidery with tote bags. So the first thing that we want to learn is that in embroidery, most of us are used to dealing with the round hoop system. And so this is what we've all seen and this is what we've been used to. Well, in some cases, tote bags are not going to be able to be conducive to using this, so we're going to have to go to a flat hoop system. So first of all, let me show you how to do a round hoop system. In a round hoop system, you would take your hoop, put it inside the bag, and this is a simple lightweight tote bag. So in a lightweight tote bag, the hoop is going to be able to be hooped with not too much problem on there because it should be able to hold just like it would on a garment or a jacket or something. So we're going to set it inside the bag, place the hoop on top of it, and then simply press down. So this gives us a nice tight drum hoop. And if we see on the inside, everything is showing very well. And this would be capable of being embroidered. And also this would be able to go on our machine, sliding it on. There's a lot of clearance. If you notice in the back right here, we have plenty of clearance. So this bag would actually hoop and be able to be run with no problem. So if we take a bag though, I'm going to unhoop this bag. If we take a bag that is much thicker, like this one we have right here, this particular bag has a lining inside of it. And when we use a bag like this, several things can happen. First of all, if you take a round hoop, and if you can get it on there, even though with the thickness, and put it down, there's a chance that you'll tear that inner backing. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop this one on the back. It's much harder. But what can happen as a result of that is if you look at the bottom of this, you'll see where it's pinching. There's a good chance that you're going to tear that bag. So hooping a bag like this with this type of system is actually just very dangerous as far as losing a good bag. So the other problem that you can have is that you'll end up with the imprint and a hoop burn on the bag as well. So again, not the best idea. So I would recommend a flat hoop system. The flat hoop system that I use is called Fast Frames. There are several of them out there, but Fast Frames is the one that I prefer. Very simple system. The first thing that you need to do is determine which hoop fits inside your bag based on what you're trying, your design size. And I've chosen this one right now just to slide up inside here to show you. But what I would do is I would determine how this is going to fit. Just like that. And once I get it on there, if I know that it's going to hold my design, I'll choose that hoop and then I'll go ahead and prep the hoop. So this particular bag within this area here will hold this particular hoop. So in the flat hoop system, in order to be able to hold the bag steady, we have to use adhesive, double-sided adhesive, and we have to use an adhesive backing. So rather than using your normal pellons or your normal backing, which is the cotton fiber, we would use adhesive. So I've already prepped one of the hoops, and this is strictly just double-sided adhesive tape on this. And what we do is we take the double-sided adhesive face up, because this is the way the hoop is going to lay into the frame. So we want this face up. We would coat this with double-sided adhesive tape, turn it over, and then you're literally going to take your adhesive backing and then you're going to put it on the back. And you want it tight. If you don't pull it tight, there's a chance that your design will fall through the bag. So you want to pull the adhesive tight on there. Make sure it's nice and sealed down really good. And if you have any excess, you can just simply cut it off. I've already got one prepped over here, so we're going to use this one. And then you take the frame and put it on your hoop holder. Simply screw it down. So now you're ready to put your bag on the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my hoop onto the machine. I'm going to set my design. And when I'm loading the hoop, I want to go to my #1 needle first of all, because it's always easier to see your line up with your #1 needle. So I press my #1 needle, and I'm going to create my center point. So in this particular machine, and I'll pull this back for just a second, I can tell by my center point based on where the circle is on the hoop. So if I set it up and line it up to that #1 needle, I'm also going to take the center point of my bag. Now, this is just a test bag, so we're not going to be as precise on this, but typically on the bag, I would recommend marking it with a chalk marker and line up your actual design point and make the marks for you. But to get your center point, let's say the center point is right here. So what I would do is I'd line up my center point right across the needle, come straight up, and only onto the top of the adhesive. So basically you're not going any higher than this. You're just going to land it right here on the top adhesive point. So that's where I've got it. I'm going to rub it down. Make sure that it's nice and tight. Nothing loose. And that there's plenty clearance on the bottom. Now once that's done, I want to do a design trace to make sure that it's going to cover the complete bag without going off to the edges. What I'm trying to do with my design trace is I want to make sure that I'm not hitting the edges of this hoop so it doesn't damage your presser feet or your needles. So as I do a design trace, you can see that the edges of the hoop are here and here. So as we do the design trace, you can see with this needle that we're well away from that. So it gives us a chance to be able to sew it, and it's not going to damage anything on the hoops. And then from there, if you have a bag that is giving you any kind of, if it won't stick, let's say for instance you have a bag that had a lot of weight down here and it was wanting to pull or tug down, it would pull this down. And if that happens, and I'll show you what it would be doing, let's say if you had your bag right here and if it's pulling it down, it can catch the edges of your needle plates. So you want to make sure that the weight of the bag is not dropping down like this, because if it does, it will cause it to catch and it'll pull. So if your bag is heavy at all, you either want to have something raise it up to hold it, or you want to make sure that you have it secured so it doesn't pull this thing down. Now this bag is light, so we don't have that problem with it. So we're going to go ahead and sew this bag just like this, and we'll see how it does. So I'm setting my needle. I'm going to use just a simple white thread on here so we can see it. Okay, and of course we get a thread break. Okay, so now our design has completed. and I'm going to show you how to remove the flat hoop and remove the bag from the hoop itself. So in order to remove the hoops, you just simply lift these up from the little pegs here. Be careful when you slide it out that you don't drop your bag. Okay, and then all you do is you just take your bag and you peel it away from this adhesive. So peel it away and then just peel it completely off. And then this is all that's left on the back of the design. So it sews nice and clean. All I have literally is just this one little thread to trim. So I trim the one little thread. And then there's your bag. So what we've learned is about the flat hooping system and how it can help increase your bottom line. If you can be a little bit more innovative and add flat hooping systems to your line, this will give you an opportunity to be able to do bags and a lot of other types of products. If you would like to go to KSIPrint.com, we have other tips and tricks on how to use your flat hoop systems and many, many other things. Thank you for watching.